So as they come in with that lockdown, so much disengage. But if they want to re-engage, and we see that being Meet Your Makers comp a lot throughout this tournament, and teams seem to be, looking at that composition more, wasting the summoner spells and then fighting within that short window of re-engagement.
So this is going to be interesting because basically Anexis is just mad long range, and they're going to go poke hardcore. They've got a lot of long-range crowd control, so if one of them lands, they can follow up with Rupture, follow up with Equalizer, and probably pick up a kill from that. And the thankful thing for Millenium, though, is that they can actually force engages pretty well. Flash ult from I'm So Fresh is going to work quite nicely. They can follow up with Zyra Ultimate. Twisted Fate can land a gold card, and by that point, Anguish and Creatine can start playing cleanup crew. The difficulty is going to be in where they find those engages, because Tabs can ult in and just gold card someone and zone use and hope he doesn't die, and that might be all it needs. Basically, look for I'm So Fresh and Tabs. They're going to be the ones to start the fights. If they start them well, Millenium will tend to win the battles, but it's on them. If they don't start fights well, assuming the game goes equally otherwise, the Nexus has a really great long-range team.
All right, final words to Riv. Money, where is it right now?
Right now, Nexus has momentum, but it's anybody's game. If I had to put the money, I'd probably put a little bit on both teams, because I don't want to lose any.
He's such a fence sitter, he really is. Well, there you go. So there's the preview of the game. It is Anexis versus Millenium. It is the third and final match to decide who goes through to the grand final of the Intel Extreme Masters Brazil.
So here we go then, Jason. An amazing game surely about to hit us here. We've seen two games which were won convincingly by either side. Which does that mean that the third game is going to be more even?
I hope so. I really do hope so. I mean, looking at both teams, it could be a very interesting game. I mean, whenever there's a Twisted Fate, I'm always glad I'm not the cameraman because it's really hard to follow.
Just have to hover over his button and keep pressing it a lot.
Yeah, that's true. But Joe, where's your money at?
In the V2. No. I'm actually going to go with the Nexus this time around. I think that their lineup is more impressive. I have to say that Tabs is going to play a big role in this one, though. If he doesn't get involved, then they're not going to get involved at all here, Millenium.
And as you said, I mean, TF's one of those champions. He's hot or cold. I mean, either you're going to do really well or you're going to do really bad. There's no real middle ground here. And we do have, looks like the exact same thing as we saw in Game 1 coming out of Millenium, heading down towards that bottom side of the jungle. And they might try to be a little ballsy here. I mean, they do have the gold card. They do have a Grasping Root. They do have a potential trap. But we'll see if they can actually land that in quick succession.
Well, we can see their ward put down by Millenium by their Wraith ramp. And where are they going to go to? Looks like similar situation to before, as going up towards the Anexis Blue, probably getting a ward down and then backing off. But Anexis don't want to let that happen this time around. They've seen that Millenium are hanging around there. Celiva already down. Arquel is on that side. Grom is there as well. So really difficult thing for Millenium to get in there. And in the end, they decide, well, it's not wise. They've seen us coming. They're probably going to all rotate it around, which is pretty much the case. As the root will actually land here onto Celiva. Can he get away from it? Gold card is pulled from Tabs, but couldn't quite get in range to get that one off. That was dangerous for Celiva.
Yeah, it was. But, Millenium, they didn't really want to commit a lot of summoners there to go for that kill. They weren't sure if the Grasping was actually landed, and if they did, they would have had to flash in and have to pretty much use everything. All their their one ignite, they'd have to use their exhaust. A Moon might even have to go bandage toss, and it's just, well, it was a good move by Millenium to back off.
Well, Anexis here going to be starting. Obviously, Cho'Gath in the jungle for them over by Wolves, and the Wraith start here for I'm So Fresh, who's going to be headed then to do his red buff first of all. Overpower going to have help from Celiva and Zazas, but we are going to be seeing this lane switch coming in again. It's going to be Twisted Fate in the top lane versus Lulu and Varus. Bottom lane, well, Caitlyn's in the middle for now, so it could be just Katarina. Yeah, it's Katarina that's going to be going up against Rumble in the bottom.
One thing that's going to be really deadly, though, is that Nexus, they took their double golds. They have that level advantage over Tabs. And, I mean, just overall, Varus is one of those champions. Doesn't have a really good escape. He has, a decent slow, has his ultimate, which is kind of, pretty good, but he has a lot of burst because of that % damage he does with his blighted quiver. So we're going to see if he's going to be able to work that. Yes, he has good harassment right there. If he lands that, it does a pretty good chunk of damage on the Tabs. And I'm still not a huge fan of seeing a Twisted Fate in the top lane because you're really limited to where you can roam around to. And he's still taking a lot of damage on that top side. And he only ran with 3 actual, pots.
Yeah, stepped a little bit too far out there, in my opinion, Tabs. He had the red card pulled. The good thing that he has here, I suppose, is those wild cards to throw down, but if Anexis completely frees out this lane, he's going to really find it hard to be picking up any farm.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's the thing, Twisted Fate, like we were just saying, If you don't get some farms or get some kills, if he gets shut down, he's not going to be doing a whole lot of anything the rest of this game. But at least for his benefit, Lux is getting shut down quite well.
He's just been absolutely destroyed, almost taken down there by the Q. And he's still alive, which is the important thing for Tabs, but he can't afford that to happen again.
Yeah, he's alive, but at what cost? As he's currently down that flash, he's going to have to back away. He does at least have a ward down. Torches on blue, just to spot a 3-man gank coming towards the top. So we do see a teleport coming in, so English going to switch spots just to hold that turret. Would be assuming he's going to, well, actually, he's going to be committing to his top side and trying to go 1v2 here. Twisted Fate heading down towards the bottom lane against Rumble, which he shouldn't really win that matchup either.
Well, and honestly, I don't know if English is going to do any better in this lane.
If anything, he at least has the jump. He has a guaranteed escape away from the team since we do have Tabs' flash down. But I agree with you. I mean, he's not going to get too much CS. I mean, obviously he can do it a little bit, or decently well under the turret, but he still is very susceptible to being killed here by a 3-man gank when that ward just ran out.
Speaking of ganks, overpower here, going to get bandage toss. The root will land as well, but they don't have the damage there to take him down. But either way, sending him low in the jungle is going to mean that he has to think again in terms of where he goes next. He's going to head probably into that top side of his jungle just to try and keep some farm on that side of things. Let's have a look at the early CS. Twisted Fate still only with 3. Bad.
Am I supposed to analyze that, Joe?
Yes.
He's just been shut down completely. I'm sure she's sitting in that bush right there with a ward, currently being spotted. And the thing is, it's at this point where you can't help Tabs anymore. You're not going to get a kill on Zazas. It's level 2 to level 4, and Muma doesn't put out that much damage, or at least enough to get a kill here. So he's going to have to commit to this mid lane. He really has to get this Caitlyn and Zara fed up. But the problem is, Tabs, he needs to get level 6. He needs to be a part of some kills. He needs at least some assists here. Just get some kind of gold to come back. And English in the top lane, like you were saying, Joe, he's not having an easy time up here either.
Just generally not super in these 2 outer lanes. The middle lane, bit of a different scenario though, obviously with a 2 against 1, or at least 2 against 2 for now, as Overpower was covering over on that side. And there is the first blood. They went in it on the end. We saw the kill right at the last second. Luckily didn't miss it all. As Anexis, yeah, they pick up the dream start once again.
We saw English actually use his Shunpo into the enemy wave just to get a CS. He actually flashed out at the last second, but still wasn't enough. He ended up getting picked up there. And you can't do that. I mean, it seems honestly like kind of a rookie mistake. You can't let your escape mechanism go on cooldown like that.
Yeah, certainly. And he did use flash, but, well,
didn't do much.
It wasn't quite enough for him. Twisted Fate now starting to catch up a little bit. Obviously, he's had a couple of waves pushed into him here by Rumble, but still having a tough time of it. Meanwhile, in the middle, we can see that Creighton and Fat Mama forcing Overpower away from that one. And that's another big thing that we've got to think about as well, that Overpower is spending a lot of time having to cover this middle lane.
Which, honestly, isn't that bad of a thing, because the top lane's winning, the bot lane's winning, the mid lane is only lane that's having a tough time. But if he's sitting there, as long as he's getting his jungle creep when it does come up, or at least his buffs, he's actually out-leveling, or he should be out-leveling the enemy jungler, which he currently was dead even with. But it's going to help him out. It's going to keep him in the game. He has a Philistone for some extra GP10. And, why not? Because you're keeping your turret alive, which is the whole point of this lane swap that you're seeing in the lane. They're trying to get that turret down. They're trying to shut down Lux. But without, with Cho'Gath being there, they can't do that.
You can see that just the damage coming out from Varus. Anglish knocked down to just above half HP. And we already see a 400 gold lead appearing for Anexis in this one. And they're going to keep going. I mean, Arquel's doing a great job here of forcing Anglish back. But the problem is, Caitlyn's pretty much got free roam in this middle lane. She's going to come out with more farm at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's very true. But the thing is, she's dead even in gold with Arquel right now because of that assist they got, because of that first blood. So in the end, it's not mattering too much. And as you see right now, Arquel, he's punishing Katarina quite more than Caitlyn and Zara is punishing Lux. So overall, it is working out in Nexus's favor.
So pretty slow time to as we are going to see Creative getting burst down to below half health then. Celiva landing pretty much his entire combo on him. Already got that chalice in there. He's headed up towards double the amount of CS as Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate is still only level 5, and we know that the whole point of having this Twisted Fate is to get around the map, to be able to move in there. And the thing is, when he's in the bottom lane, that instantly limits what he can do. Yeah,
very true. And I thought they're actually going to go for an invade on this blue buff against the Nexus, since they did have a pink ward down. They knew when it was going to be back up. So they are going to give that away. It looks like Lux should be picking that up in a split second. And sure, he has a chalice to make it so she can farm even that much better. I mean, not being limited by mana and having your cooldowns reduced is so nice for her. And the thing is, Anglish in the top lane doesn't have that benefit. He doesn't have that ability to just farm away. I mean, he gets 1 or 2 here or there, but he's almost down double the CS right now to his counterpart. What? Counterpart. Well, he's down CS to Rumble, I'll say.
Yeah, certainly the case. Rumble already got that Giant's belt purchased. The AD carries Vamp Scepter, Berserker Greaves for Caitlyn, Vamp Scepter, Boots of Speed, and the Doran's Blade coming out for Varus early on, and Anguish bringing everything as close as he can here to his turret, and that's his whole aim here, is to have that minion wave right as close to his safe point as he can.
Yeah, very true. I mean, we saw it happen last time he overextended. Right now he has 3 pots left. He came back to lane, I believe, with 5 or 6. So he used quite a bit of those. And obviously he's going to be going for that same tanky kind of build that we see all Katarinas doing lately after Voyboy made it very popular. Even Rumble, as you saw in the last couple of games, building that Warmogs as his first item. You see it there, just the damage onto Anguish. Just an auto attack takes down a full bar.
Yeah, real dangerous stuff, as we are seeing Mumu gathering around this middle. Twisted Fate obviously has now come to this middle lane, but he is way behind in the CS compared to that Lux. And also got a level behind currently as well. Plus the blue buff is with Celiva. We'll see how that all kind of works out for him in these coming moments.
What we need to see right now is I'm So Fresh ganking this top lane somehow, really shutting down Arquel. The turret getting very low. I'm not really sure they can even save this, or Link can save this. But with the combination of Twisted Fate and a Mumu, if he's heading down towards his bottom lane, they can easily pick up a kill. It's just there's no opportunity for him to do this right now. The top lane was pushed so hard. We see Rumble just sitting at his own turret, so if they're going to go for it, it's going to be a very ballsy move on their part. He has the ultimate available, and the Giant's belt, like you were mentioning. It's going to be very tough to actually go for a kill on him. And Tabs, he's being denied in the mid lane as well. I mean, Celivar's just keeping him pushed out. And he actually is coming. Oh, I thought he was actually going to be coming down towards the bottom side. Cho'Gath coming around to go for a counter gank, though.
Yeah, let's see what they can do with this one. Overpower is there. Won't quite land the rupture.
Oh, Lux coming down.
Yeah, Lux is. She started to work her way down there. But
I guess. She keeps going back and forth. She's like,
oh, there's teleport coming in here, though. This could be dangerous for Celiva. Actually spots it. What a bind in there. Anguish stopped just as he comes in. That was amazing stuff. And that's the thing. We talk about it so much that a teleport, it's a wasted spell if you can't get it in action, if it doesn't bring anything for you.
And that's what it's always really nice to have on that mid lane here. Oh, great actual zoning power of Varus. So they're kept on pushed back a little bit, but you're exactly right. I mean, having a top lane is one of those things that's kind of iffy. If you don't create an opportunity, it's useless. I mean, it is good for late game for doing that split pushing, but with the way it's going, are they really going to make it to that point? I guess we're going to find out.
I mean, it's 1-0 at this point.
It is 1-0, but, you know, yeah, okay.
It's 1,500 gold, the difference right now. I mean, this could certainly change quickly if now Millenium get the engagement that they want.
The thing is, the top turret's down now, so we could see Varus and Lulu roaming around, and that's a deadly combo to have roaming against you. You have the Lulu knockup, you have the lockdown from Varus, you have an insane amount of burst out of him as well. It really can just destroy with how squishy the entire lineup of Millenium is currently.
Katarina are going to be getting some free farm. Giant spell is complete. They went back after that last failed teleport. Not really going to have too much time here on that top turret, but I'm So Fresh is coming in. Dragon is being done right now by Anexis. They're using this time to try and keep things going as the Amumu ultimate does go down. Cleanse used and flash away there by Arquel. Let's have a look over towards Dragon. Fat Mama is waiting off to the side. The root comes in, but that's not going to be enough. That is taken down. Will they get a turret? No, I don't think they will have this turret either.
So you committed two
Twisted Fate's coming now, so maybe they will.
Yeah, but you committed 2 ultimates in that top lane, didn't even get the kill, and you let the other team get the dragon. Luckily, if they do get this this tower, which they should now, it'll even up just a little bit, but that's a lot to commit against one person. His cleanse is going to be off cooldown very quickly. It's obviously not that long. Ooh, you see someone getting very low right there.
Yeah, it was Zyra in this middle lane. We do see Twisted Fate ultimate coming. Where is he going to go to? Is he going to go anywhere? Nah, he's just going straight in towards that middle turret again.
He'll instantly get blown up. Light Binding with the E out of Lux and the ultimate, you're just going to get shat on.
Wow.
It's true. I mean, it's completely true. He's so far behind, doesn't have any health. And Celivar's had that blue up, has the farm under his own belt, has quite a bit of gold to back with, sitting at 2,000 right now. I mean, after he does a buy right here, the Issa can go for a 5-man push. If they catch anyone with the Light Binding, followed up with a Rupture, that person is guaranteed dead.
Yeah. And there's that Warmog's finished by Rumble. The Theme's Unholy Grail. BF Sword picked up by Varus. Caitlyn, with that CS lead, though, does have the Bloodthirster, and those Berserker Greaves already finished.
And she's only up about 70 gold, though, overall. So that's the only thing that's really keeping them in the game. But then we're going to hit that point, Joe, that happens every time with the Caitlyn, that mid-game lull that happens for her. It's going to take a little bit of farm. Well, she's going to take a lot more farm and even a couple of kills to get her, quickly out of that little phase. But, Millenium, they're on the back foot. They have to just farm up. They have to let Tabs kind of get back into the game. He's sitting at 55 CS, already 13 minutes in. You usually don't see those kind of numbers. And Caitlyn's are only really saving grace with that 119 CS.
Well, you say Tabs get back in the game, but it's more like Tabs get in the game at all, because we've not really seen him doing much whatsoever up till this point.
That's what I always say, Joe. I'm not a big fan of Twist of Fate and really what he has to offer. I mean, okay, what he has to offer I love, but the actual ability to pull it off is very, very slim.
Well, you weren't a big fan of Lux in that last game either, but...
Well, that's the whole thing of, one team can have a perfect synergy and perfect group composition, but if they get shut down early game and the other team gets fed, it doesn't even matter, kind of thing.
We'll see how that one works out this time with Twisted Fate, who, granted, is behind by a good chunk here. 30 CS currently behind Lux. Not to mention the overall team gold is not in their favourite. Wow, Varus ultimate coming out there. It's Fat Mama. The light binding has landed, and Celever is going to take down Fat Mama. That was kind of just like, well, too easy, almost. Too easy for Anexis to pick up that kill.
And that's exactly what I was saying about Millenium. They're not tanking enough yet. Katarina's the only one that has some sort of health building towards that Warmogs. And Anexis, with the just pure damage they have, they can burst down anyone, even Katarina. It's all about landing some sort of CC onto them, but they're going to get this turret, and that is actually a really, really bad turret from Millenium losing now. They lost all control of their top lane, and they're going to need those blue buffs onto Tabs, or at least onto I'm So Fresh, to reduce that ult cooldown, which is going to be so crucial in these team fights.
There's a laser going through middle again. Didn't quite reach Twisted Fate. But I'm So Fresh being pinned down. The binding actually lands onto him, but we weren't in range to actually follow up with anything after that. But overall, a commanding position for Anexis. I mean, let's not forget they won game number 1, and it was a bit of a one-sided affair as well.
Yeah, Millenium just completely destroyed them that game 1, but game 2, as we saw at Anexis, they pulled it back into the exact same thing right to Millenium, and they're kind of doing it again this game. Not obviously has to the same effect as game 2, but still, nonetheless, they have a nice lead as they are up about 3,000 gold. Dragon will be coming up fairly shortly, and there's no sign of them stopping. And even when we get to the team fighting, Anexis has such a leap over Millenium. They have that true damage out of Cho'Gath, they have the percent damage out of Varus, and they have the burst out of Lux, not to mention Rumble throwing his ultimate on top of that. It's just going to be very deadly for Millenium just overall. And Cretan, wow. That was just one flame spitter out of Zazus right there and got him pretty low.
Yeah, really bullying Caitlyn in this bottom lane. Luckily for him, got that Bloodthirster. He can heal himself straight back up. Katarina here, waiting off in the wings. Is he going to be able to come in for anything? Not just yet. That tower, though, only needs literally one hit from anything, and he's going to go down.
I'm going to channel my inner demon right here. Just hit the damn turret! All right, I'm good.
That was great. Good job. You did well.
I hope Demon approves.
So, 4 wards in that push. Not quite sure they meant to do that one. Double ward coming out from Millenium. Let's see what's coming up next. I mean, Dragon is not so far away.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, they need this gold so badly. It has 8 health on that turret in the mid lane. Just one sort of hit, just pushing the wave up maybe one more time when no one's there. Easily secure it. And the thing is, it'll give... Oh, Fat Mama.
Oh, here comes the laser through as well. He's not quite got the damage just yet.
If that E landed, though.
Yeah, if the E would have landed, that would have been it.
It would have been a dead Mama. But Dragon, I mean, if they get that turret, the thing is, they can concede the Dragon, get the mid turret, maybe push down some damage onto the second turret, because they can't really afford a team fight anymore. Or they could just switch up, go to the top side, have English get up there, push that top lane, and maybe potentially get that turret down while they try to go for that Dragon, which would be a very good trade-off for them.
So, bottom lane pushed out. That's going to be a good amount of farm for Rumble, because we're getting attacked by some kind of Brazilian mega fly.
You're looking over at me like, oh, weird, like, what are you doing? And then it finally bugs you.
Oh.
English, though.
Yeah, he could be in trouble here in the middle. Actually, Caitlyn coming in from the side. Tabs had that gold card pulled as well, which is always a worrying thing to be running in against. And again, you can see this is the final game of a semi-final. Neither team really wanted to take much of a risk. Even Anexis, who do have a decent lead in this one, but it is just that. It's a decent lead. It's not an overwhelming lead at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this pretty much same situation with SK versus Fnatic at Intel Extreme vs Katowice. We had Yellow Star going to be on Fnatic, and he was playing Caitlyn. What he did the entire time was, while they were behind, just farm as much as possible, get as much gold.
Oh, I'm so fresh, going very, very low. Oh,
teleport
not
from
quite
behind.
happening. Here comes Rumble, though, as well. Angush actually teleports right into the middle of the team. Overpower going very, very low. I'm so fresh is going to die. Overpower did die in the end as well. And that will be a 1-for-1 exchange. Twisted Fate, well, he's going to try and get out of there, but it's not going to happen for him. Arkwell will eventually pick up that kill. And that was after Twisted Fate did manage to get one of himself, but that's going to open up Dragon here for Anexis.
Yep, and that's just lengthening that gold away. But I was trying to say was, Yellow Star, all he did was just farm as much as possible on Caitlyn, and once he got to that point in late game, he just destroyed the entire enemy team. Once he was, 5-6 items in, there was nothing they could do about him unless they really locked him down. Nexus has the ability to do that, has the ability to burst him down. That's just really all up to Cretan, who, honestly has been playing exceptionally well in terms of positioning all day today.
Yeah, you have to give him that, that's for sure. The question is, can they come back from this one now? They lost that second game, and I said it at the end of that second game that Millenium are a team that seems to require that momentum when they're playing. If they get down, their play suffers as a result of it, and so far Anexis doing a fantastic job here in game number 3 and looking like they could, at least at this point in the game, be moving on to the grand final.
Yep, very true. And if they do, they secure their spot at CBIT, so that's a double victory for them, I'll say. Looking at Caitlyn and Varus, though, gold. Caitlyn is ahead. Down 1 kill, down 2 assists, but because he's been farming this entire time, he's up. Well, very minimal, but still up nonetheless. Keeping up in terms of items. He's not going to obviously do as much damage as Varus since he doesn't have any % damage. But still, it's like I've been saying this whole time, it's their saving grace. We see a move, we picked up the Runic Bulwark to help out with that magic damage we're currently seeing, which is honestly such a great item for what they're going up against. It's really going to help them out and make them all tankier without them having to pick up an item and sacrificing damage.
Yeah, good choice coming out of the jungler there. What else do we have here? Finished needlessly large rod on Lux is just going to add another chunk of damage into that equation once things gets going. There's a Giant's Belt with Cho'Gath. Obviously Warmonk's already done from Rumble earlier on. Katarina has hers finished. AD carries pretty similar builds so far, although we can see that Caitlyn a little bit closer to finishing off. And, well, Varus has a couple of 100 gold on him more, so that will be equalized up pretty quickly. Celavia trying to run away and will get away.
And Joe, I'm trying to look at what's the next play out of Anexis. What's the next play out of Millenium? And the thing is, Anexis has left this bottom turret up the entire time, which has allowed Caitlyn to farm up right now. It's sitting at 192 farm compared to 150 of her counterpart. They need to get that turret down, and once they do that, they can apply pressure to a lot more lanes. They can really start invading a lot more, because they haven't really been denying too much jungle away from Millenium, which will really strangle their gold income. And that's kind of what you need to do to start snowballing your team. I mean, we haven't seen any team fights out of this so far. As actually, well, we saw kind of one team fight, but it was obviously heavily favored towards the Nexus. But still, even after that, even knowing that they could win the fights, they're still being very cautious. And they say that they're heading down towards the bot lane to take this turret.
Yep, actually 3 of them already down there, and they've noticed that Millenium realized that, and they're actually pushing with 3 men up this middle lane as well, so they want to make sure that they don't end up losing an inner turret for an outer turret, especially in that middle lane will be pretty disastrous for them at this stage.
Yeah, very true.
Well, on the other hand, you've got Katarina pushing this top lane out as well. Teleport is not actually available as of yet. Yeah, Varus needs to be careful there. Katarina has a level on him, although super damage she doesn't have just yet.
Considering how bad English was shut down, he's doing a pretty good job of getting back into the game. He's pretty much tied up with his counterpart, Rumble, in CS 135 to 137. And Twisted Fate, he's even kind of getting back. Oh, he's finally getting into the game, as we'll go back and say. With this 100 CS to 156, but the problem, Twisted Fate, you should easily, or not easily, but you should have that farm advantage. Just because you have that ability to clear waves so quickly, you can roam around into another lane. You can ult into that lane, pick up a couple kills and assists. But he's still, I mean, they're holding on. They're clawing their way back into this game.
Yeah, and the fact that Anexis are playing so conservative here. They know, well, obviously they know it's the third map of this best of 3. If they lose this one, they're not going to be headed towards that World Championship, and that's the real big thing for them at this point. They're not in Season 3. They want to have the chance at winning a big title, at having, you know, that extra experience that is vital for all of these teams at this point, especially the ones that didn't get to Season 3, because they're going to miss out on so much.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, how often do teams get to practice or play against top teams as we do have that? Just trying to go for engage on the spot lane, which Twistfit actually stopped the engage, but it might get turned around.
Oh, this might get turned around as the Rupture is flashed away from I'm So Fresh, missing the bandage toss there. And as Lulu comes in, that's going to force Millenium to back away. So, again, Twisted Fate will ulti in. This time, not able to pick up a single thing from it. Fat Mama here. Is he going to get shut down? Not quite. As I'm So Fresh will come over to stop that one. But in the meantime, again, Katarina is pushing this top lane out. Should be able to have that inner turret away this time. And that's probably going to be exchanged for an outer turret, which I'm sure Millenium will take any day of the week.
Yeah, great play by English. She was actually back in that bush when he noticed that they were down there. And then he's actually, before he noticed they were down there, he's like, wait a minute, they're all 5 down there. Why don't I just keep pushing this lane? He's going to get that turret right now. And obviously going to be very happy with that trade because they have access now to that inner, or that inhibitor turret if they want. Also gives them a little bit more control of that upper side of the jungle, which obviously Baron is around. So, you know, Millenium have that ability to, you know, force a Baron fight if they really want to, if they're confident enough that they can win these fights. But I don't think they're really at that point where they can.
And look at Angler, she's still going here. And the funny thing is, Varus is only just starting to recall. So it's going to be down to at least half HP by the time he gets there. Or not. Not quite. Not quite half
well, still,
HP, but still close enough.
Yeah, and English, you know, being very safe. There's no point in down right there because it leaves open the Baron to be taken away from them. And he's just farming away as much as possible. He's taking a lead over his counterpart finally. He's getting towards his items. He's going to need to start doing a lot of damage here. And just overall, Millenium, they're playing this very smart. They know they aren't out of it, and they're trying to just push any sort of advantage they get, and it's all about English doing that.
Yep. And if you look at the gold here, it's still 2,300 thereabouts.
And the thing is,
not a big difference.
Anexis has 2 dragons.
Yeah.
And yet they're still keeping up in gold, so very big factor. It's, well, mostly just due to Caitlyn with that insane, really good CS lead, but still, those 3 turrets, I mean, even it up, just right there, we're talking about Millenium is getting behind, and they're starting to fall farther and farther behind, but by picking up those turrets, picking up a kill here, kill, period, they're able to hold on.
Yeah, just that one single kill. Twisted Fate. Well, it's going to be gifted over the red buff this time around. He's starting to hurt there now. Phantom Dancer, bloodthirsty finish. Lux has got that Rabadon's death cap in there on the other side. Twisted Fate, Haunting Guys, Sorcerer's Shoes, plus the Lich Bane as well. Which we said earlier on, he's not been that involved, Tabs, but he's starting to get to level where he's actually becoming really dangerous.
Yeah, and with that top turret solo, right now he has the ability to actually go back to if he really wants to. We see Angish heading up there already to push that lane yet again. Dragon is up, so looks like they might sacrifice that Dragon for a push on the middle turret to get some damage on it, and a push on that top lane. I mean, obviously there's nothing they can do. Overpower's so tanky, 3,200 health, it will go down, and the Anexis has to hurry back, and they actually might be able to catch Millenium off guard here.
Yeah, they might be able to get him behind him. Let's see, Zazas going to go racing in there. Can he manage to lock anyone down? There is the ultimate coming in to I'm So Fresh. He will actually turn around. A great ultimate comes down. There is the Zyra ultimate coming in as well. First kill comes down for Varus. God, as Angush now also being focused down. Fat Mama going very, very low. Double kill for Varus. Angush being chased, will get knocked up. Has Overpower got the damage though for this one? I'm not sure that he really will have. As Rumble did take down Twisted Fate, they killed each other actually, and Overpower is still going. Varus gets himself another one. Angush falling still lower, but is somehow managing to escape. He will actually shumpo over towards his minions, and Overpower is still chasing this one. Angush is still alive. He manages to dodge a rupture, but the auto attack will finish.
And we do have Anexis pushing up this mid lane right now. And the funny thing was, why did Millenium let themselves get caught? They had Ward Sword Dragon. They knew they were doing it. They knew they were coming back, and yet they still let themselves get engaged upon. They lost 4. Actually, sorry, that was an ace. Wasn't it? Actually, did Mumu die?
Yeah, Mumu died.
Okay, so it was an ace, or a delayed ace. Now, there was no reason for that to happen. They didn't get any turrets. They didn't really even get any damage onto that middle turret from that. Just a big misplay overall out of Millenium.
Now there's a big wave of minions coming onto this top lane, which someone will be thankful for the farm off. Varus, by the looks of things, and he's just picked up a Warmogs, by the way, on his last trip home.
Why not? I think it was, who wasn't even in, was even being focused down at all. He's 4-0-4. He has that lead, just trying to make himself that much more deadly. They go for a Desperation Baron here, but there is a ward spot in it. There's no ping ward down, and this really can end up very badly for Millenium. Rumble's ultimate is back up again.
Rumble, the only one there for now. And Millenium saying, well, guys, there's not a chance that we can do that one and get away with it. I mean, in terms of levels there as well, they're just not strong enough to be able to attack that Baron down. And Zazas does work his way in there. Is the ultimate down? Catches Creatine and Fat Mama will actually flash around. Fat Mama's going to have all on to try and escape this one. Varus will actually take the kill there with the E right at the end. He is now unstoppable at 5-0-4. And Anexis say, well, it's 5 versus 4 now, and the Baron is up. We may just be able to do this one. Are they going to set up a trap here? Oh, they managed to catch Creatine with everything. You're not escaping from that one. Twisted Fate was off to the side, but once that AD carry is down, there's not a chance that they can win a fight.
And now it's all time for Fresh to go for this Baron still here. He is level 12 compared to the 14 on Cho'Gath, and Cho'Gath does have that Nom available, so he has 1,800 true damage to do. They do actually probably show us an engage.
Oh, here we go. Laser comes across from Lux. I'm so fresh is going to die. They're just ignoring tabs. Like, you're not even doing anything to us. We don't care about that. He's going to try and ulti away from this one, which he will do. But as a result, they're going to lose 4 men overall in that last encounter. And Baron is going to be the last one. Whatever. Baron's going to go down as well.
Easy phrases. Yeah, but
Top twist.
Yeah, and that was such a great ward because that entire opportunity was opened up by that one ward towards blue. If you can, yeah, right there on the left side of your screen, was completely opened up. Caught Caitlyn, caught Creatine out of we pretty much took him out of that fight. And the thing was, Millenium had a chance to actually poke them down and potentially keep them off of that Baron if Creatine was alive. And they pretty much stopped that opportunity, took the Baron, got 4 kills off of it, and they're looking very solid to go for an inhibitor here.
Varus has got another 1,500 gold to spend already, which, as I said last time he went home, bought that Warmogs up. Where's he going to go for next? There's a second Giant's Belt being picked up by Rumble. Just overall, they're so far ahead again in the build. I mean, look at down the items, and again, you just can't really compare them.
Yeah, I mean, a 7-0-5 Varus right now. He's a full Warmog ahead of Caitlyn now, matched up with the BF Sword as well. And you have Rumble, who, I mean, he's not doing bad damage, but the thing is, he's so tanky that no one can really deal with him just yet. Yeah. And he has the Leandri's Torment, so even if they do build health, he's going to be doing, you know, exponentially more damage. It's just the thing is, he's so tanky, Cho'Gath's so tanky, and then you have a back line of so much burst. You have control with that Rumble ultimate to really slow them down, to really prevent them from running away. The only thing really Millenium has to stop that is maybe a Zyra ultimate with the Grasping Root, and then Tabs' gold card. And speaking of that, I don't think I've actually seen Fat Llama pop his ultimate yet this game.
I think he did, I just don't think it mattered.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, that's the real problem in that one. I mean, technically, they've got a decent setup with that, you know, a Moo into the Zyra ultimate with Anguish spinning for the win on top of them, but they're just too tanky. It's just not enough pain.
I really think if they replace Twisted Fate, Anguish, you gotta be careful here. You might get caught. Ooh, barely gets away. But Twisted Fate, I mean, you could replace him with a lot better of AP champions that would have done a lot more damage, would have been more versatile in this in this team comp, but obviously you can't predict for Twisted Fate to get shut down that hard early on, and we didn't even see really one gank out of it except one in the bottom lane, which he got shut down, had to run away.
And look at this, they walk straight in there, overpower. Actually, it's not overpower that's tanking, is it? Zazas that's tanking up the turret right now. Either way, they're both hella tanky as the ultimate comes down from Rumble. This could be game right here as the laser comes across. Twisted Fate is destroyed, and well, that is the first inhibitor. Shirelias will be popped by Lulu. And I was going to say they can probably just walk over and try and finish the game right here because they've got so much more power than Millenium could offer. As I'm so fresh, he's going to come in, puts his ultimate down. He's going to suffer the price of that one. He is picked off as well at the end. And that is already 2 men down. Fat Mama is going to get lasered to 0. And now Creatine falls as well. It's all on Anguish. There are 2 Nexus turrets hammering on Grom, which he needs to sort out, but they're going to take them down quick enough. Anguish comes in with the ultimate. As I said, he just only tickles them. It's not enough damage. There's a second Nexus turret. The Nexus itself will fall, and the Anexis are our first team here in the Intel Extreme Masters Brazil Grand Final.